This video is made possible by
I'm Kirsten Brecht Baker. I'm the CEO of Global Professional Search, which we also refer to as GPS. We're an online marketplace for global talent. We're matching employers around the world with candidates who have a very unique combination of technical and industry expertise, but along with cultural competencies and language proficiencies. 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with a cancerous lump in my breast, and it was determined that I would have to go through a pretty aggressive therapy of chemotherapy and radiation. I decided that this was an experience that was going to help and motivate me, but not necessarily define me. So I decided to work while I was going through chemo and radiation. I would be at work every day in the office. I was showing up to the gym with no hair. And I was having conference calls while I was in the hospital, having infusions to the point where my nurses were, yelling and telling me to get off the phone and sort of enjoy the moment. And I refer to it now as my rearview mirror experience. We all have those. It's when we're looking in the rearview mirror and we see speed bumps, but they don't change our lives. They didn't take us down. They didn't defeat us. We kind of overcame them at each step in the back or in our history. And there was something about having been at that bottom and then moving on that just kind of motivated me and made me feel like I can do this again and I can try something else. It's very empowering when you've had that chance to kind of stare face to face with a potential defeater and then move on and have the fortitude, the luxury of having overcome that. And what's been interesting about moving on from that experience is it gives me a great sense of confidence. There's very little that I'm afraid to try. I feel almost undeterrable in almost any circumstance, at least once, at least the first time. And for me, when I was given this diagnosis, the first instinct was just fight through it and survive. And I used work and my business at the time as a way to keep myself centered, keep myself focused on something else besides just what was happening. But after the therapies were done and after, I'd come out on the other side, I decided to really step back and take a look at where I was. And at the time, I was the CEO and co-owner of a real estate development and construction company. It had been a very difficult, period of a few years. And I was dating a wonderful person, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to make some changes. I got married to a wonderful man, and I decided to actually sell my portion of the real estate development and construction company to my partner and set off on a path of passion and interest, which ultimately led to the founding of Global Professional Search.
For more inspirational stories, check out pivotalplays.com.